On today's installment of Big Al's Garage, my top 10 pleasure driving roads. How y'all doing? On today's installment of Big Al's Garage, we're starting something new called Big Al's Top 10, and I'm starting it off with a list of my top 10 pleasure driving roads. Let's get to it. Number 10, New York State Route 54 between Hammondsport and Penn Yan, New York. This road runs along the eastern shore of Keuka Lake up in the Finger Lakes, goes past wineries, it offers spectacular views of the lake. It's got a nice high speed limit for the most part, so it makes for a good windows open, top down cruising road. The only downside is you do have a lot of tourist traffic, and enforcement can be a bit on the heavy side. So watch your foot and have your radar detector going if you are planning to push it a little bit. Number 9, US Route 123 from the Georgia state line to Clemson, South Carolina. This road has some nice mountain scenery, some nice fun twists and turns and hills. It's well engineered, and it has a decently high speed limit. However, it is fairly remote. Services can be few and far between, so keep that in mind if you are planning to take a cruise in that direction. Number 8, the Taconic State Parkway in upstate New York. This is one of 2 freeway grade roads that I have on this list. The Taconic State Parkway runs from Westchester County up towards Columbia County, almost Albany. It makes a pleasant alternative to the New York State Thruway if you are going from Long Island or the city to Albany. It has some nice twists and turns. It has spectacular scenery. On the downside, there are at-grade intersections that you have to be mindful of. The speed limit is a little low for a road of that type also, and it is enforced from what I understand. So that's that. Number 7, US Route 160 from Alamosa to Durango, Colorado. This road takes you up over Wolf Creek Pass. You start to go from the high plains into the Rocky Mountains, and you see every breathtaking vistas, waterfalls, just the best of what the Rocky Mountains have to offer. It's a well-engineered road, but you do have to be a little mindful in bad weather. And there are no runaway truck ramps going down into Durango, so you need to be mindful of that if you're driving a large vehicle. Number 6, US Route 21 from Beaufort, South Carolina to Hunting Island State Park. This road takes you through the Sea Islands. In fact, it's called Sea Island Parkway. You'll see some very pretty tropical scenery, palm trees, salt marshes, oaks with Spanish moss. On the downside, it's relatively flat, it's relatively straight, and there can be a lot of traffic. But if you get it on a day with light traffic, it can make for a good windows down or top down pleasure cruise. Number 5. South Carolina State Highway 170 from Highway 278 to Beaufort, South Carolina. Just like the previous entry, you have marshes, rivers, beautiful southern coastal tropical scenery. It's got 4 lanes of traffic, high speed limit, so you can give it a little gas on this section. Traffic can be fairly light, so if you have a nice day, hop in the car and enjoy this road. Number 4, State Route A1A in Florida, especially in the vicinity of Vero Beach. This is not as heavily populated as it is in South Florida. You can cruise a little bit, enjoy some nice tropical scenery, enjoy views of the ocean. Another just good windows down, top down, radio on cruise road. Number 3, North Country Road and North Wading River Road in the towns of Wading River and Shoreham, New York. I realize these are two separate roads, but one is basically an extension of the other. It runs along the top of the glacial moraine on Long Island. You have a lot of hills, twists, turns, and just beautiful scenery. It's a great road to really put a sports car through its paces. What you do have to be mindful of is it is a somewhat residential road, so you have to be mindful of that, and the speed limit is quite low, 30 miles an hour. So this is a road that's best enjoyed in a car that's capable but doesn't have a whole lot of actual power, like a Miata or a BRZ or a Corvair. Number 2, Ocean Parkway on Long Island. This is the one that runs from Jones Beach to Captree State Park, not to be confused with the Ocean Parkway in Brooklyn. If you do take this road, you will have a chance to go past the toll booths where Sonny Corleone gave us probably the best ever endorsement for Easy Pass ever. You start at Jones Beach, you work your way east into Suffolk County. It's on a narrow barrier island. You've got the ocean on one side, the Great South Bay on the other. Traffic is light, enforcement is light, so this is a road where if you grew up on Long Island, this is where you went to just let her rip. And people will do that to this day. If you do take this road, be mindful. The pavement on the eastern part is not in the greatest condition. It's a bit frost-heaved and can be like driving down a flight of stairs. But other than that, it's just a great car cruise on a summer day, or if you're in the off-season and just feel like letting it rip, go for it. Before we get to number 1, a couple of honorable mentions. We have Sound Avenue running from Wading River, New York out towards Greenport. This is a nice road. It's relatively straight, but there are some hills, twists, and turns. You're running through farm country, past farms, wineries. It can be beautiful on a spring or summer day. However, those farms and wineries can attract a lot of traffic, and that kind of detracts from the experience a bit. Second honorable mention, Rocky Point Road, County Road 21, runs from Rocky Point down through Yaphank to the South Shore. It's got some nice twists and turns on it. The speed limit is relatively high, 50 miles an hour on most of its length, so you can have a little fun. However, the scenery is just kind of marginal. That takes away from it. And South Carolina Route 357. That's right outside my door. It's fun, it's twisty, it's turny, but it's not anything spectacular. I wouldn't go out of my way to travel that road. And now, number 1, South Carolina State Route 11, the Cherokee Foothills Scenic Byway. This road is the total package when it comes to a pleasure drive. Hills, twists, turns, beautiful scenery. Some of South Carolina's most beautiful state parks are along this route, including Table Rock, highly worth a stop. You'll see waterfalls, you'll have boiled peanut stands you can stop, get a nice snack, maybe take a picture. The speed limit is a very reasonable 55 miles an hour. Enforcement can be fairly light. All in all, it is a spectacular drive, especially in the autumn when the leaves are turning. So that earns it the number 1 spot on this list. That is all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on our next installment.